Here we go. Hello, Heartrepreneurs, and welcome to a Facebook Live interview with not only someone who I consider a friend, someone who is a protege of mine, someone who I respect and admire. And she has written a book that I had the privilege of taking a glance at way before it went to publication and reading. And I learned so much more that expanded my mind culturally and really helped make a shift. And I feel this book is not only important, period. I feel it's particularly important today for two reasons, and that's why I asked her to be my guest. Number one, we're living in a world that is incredibly interesting right now. There's so much anti-everything and hatred and violence and bigotry. Number two, we need to hear facts, and we are living in a world that is not based on facts. It's based on people saying things on social media. You can call it fake news that we really need to know the truth about. So my guest today is Sam Mak. So welcome. You're muted, just on mute.
Great to be here, Terry. Great to be here.
I'm so happy to have you. So tell people a little bit about who you are and why you wrote this book, and then let's get to the essence of the book, because I'm excited by it.
You know, I am a diversity and inclusion consultant, and I help people make connections through my Smile, Speak, and Share program. And why I wrote this book is just because I felt like we have so much in common, and there are so many good things in the world, and they're just not highlighted. So instead of focusing on everything that we do not prefer, why not focus on the things that are going right? And there are a lot of things going right, even if it is not making mainstream media.
Yeah, I love that. And you know that's my whole attitude, is focus on what is working and what is going right. So tell people the title of the book, and then really why you wrote you're showing the book. Yay, why you wrote the book. And it to me, I'll be very, upfront with you. As you know, I not only have spoken worldwide, so I've spoken in Muslim countries, I've spoken in Turkey. I have someone on my team who is probably the biggest help on my team for, 7 years now, who lives in Pakistan. And I didn't know anything that was in this book in terms of understanding other religions, their beliefs, and their cultures. So please share with us.
And you know what, Terry, I just wanted to give the readers an inside glance on what it's like for an everyday Muslim woman. What is life like? And so you get that insider scoop on what's really going on. And so many books I noticed on Islam, like you were saying, there's a lot of division going on right now. So I went through looking at the top books on Islam. Now, a lot of them were written by non-Muslims looking in. And it's very hard to show the love of a religion when you're not actively involved or do not believe in the religion. The second thing that I noticed was the second set of books was on how to convert Muslims. So, the next big category. And there was nothing quite like this one out here, which I think is like a peace offering to everybody else. Like, this is who we really are. And there's a lot of love. For example, Muslims pray 5 times a day. And in every single one of those prayers, multiple times, we pray for all the followers of Abraham. So that would be the Jews and the Christians. And so there is a lot of family and brotherhood between these major faiths that is not getting showcased the way it could be.
One of the things I got from your book, and I still remember this, and it was like way before your book was published, when I had the privilege of reading through the draft, was understanding what's really being said in the Quran. Because, after 9/11, the media was like, oh, this is, hateful religion. And I remember as a young girl, my mother told me, I never really understood it. She said, all religions are interconnected, and they're all based on the same premise, which is love and peace and humanity. And so I remember after 9/11 thinking, I haven't experienced that. So I was curious, what does the Quran say? And when I read your book, I'll let you say what it says. It really reinforced my mother's words and made me feel her wisdom.
And basically, in the Quran, all of humanity is one. So we are all interconnected. We are all part of this planet. And the way we're always explained is humanity is like one body. And so it's like me saying I have a headache, and this might be racial tensions or something going on in one country, but I'm going to run a marathon. Humanity is not going to be running a marathon with a headache. So if one group is suffering pain, whether it's in your arms or your legs or your eyes, however you want to look at it, as one body, if one part of the body is suffering, the other part of the body will not perform at full level. So we are all interconnected, and it's our job to uplift everybody, regardless of race, religion, or their cultural beliefs, because my feeling is I should have friends of every different culture. I love it. I want to be invited to all the Diwali celebrations. I want to be invited to all the bar mitzvah. I want to be invited to all the weddings and the quinceañeras and all the Eid functions. So I think the more you have that are different, the more partying there's going on and the more understanding, and it's just going to make a fuller life.
Yeah, as you know, someone on my team is Muslim, right? And we have such an appreciation, we always have, for each other's religious beliefs because of the similarities. There's different times of the year when he's celebrating some holiday and he's like, you're celebrating something in your culture too. And then we both research and learn about each other's cultures. And I'm always like, look at this, look at the similarities, because religion, I don't care what it is, are based on similarities. And even if someone is not religious, right? I don't participate in organized religion. I am still very spiritual. And being a human being living on this planet, just as you're talking about, Sam, I have an interconnectedness with every other human being. And so, yes, I want to be at their parties and I want to be at their celebrations, right? And at the same time, every single day, one of the things I wish for and hope for and pray for every day is for humanity to embrace our beauty of our similarities versus let's not have diversity. Let's all look in this particular way. And I'm curious if you find as a woman, there's even more to deal with in terms of the diversity.
Obviously there are more challenges as a woman. When I was an electrical engineer, hitting the glass ceiling, little what I call microaggressions or snide remarks. And the way the Quran always explains it is that, the way to get out of any problem is education. And that's part of the reason I wanted to write the book, because education and understanding will fix just about anything. There are problems on both sides of the argument. Going around and calling people names such as racist just shuts them down, and they're not going to process the information that's coming after that. So I just wrote a fun book with cultural celebrations so people can experience the culture and some of the actual events that Muslims go through, and that gives them a deeper understanding. And whatever you were created as is fine. I think we all need to embrace our uniqueness, our differences, because that's what makes the world interesting. So it's not about all of us being the same, like you said, Terry. It's about us really loving who we are, because that elevates the level of love on this planet. So our love for ourselves elevates love. So like not saying, well, I was born a Muslim or I was born a woman or whatever, what are the empowering facts of that? I'm really short and I know you're really short. And one of the things is I can still go on all the kid slides. So whatever you got, it's perfect. Embrace it.
I love that. Whatever you have, really take that takeaway, everyone. Whatever you have, it's perfect. Embrace it. I always say we're perfect with all our imperfections, right? People go and they spend all money on diamond rings and they're imperfect. They're beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm curious, what is the best way for people who are watching and listening to connect with you? And then, of course, please tell them, remind them the name of the book, show them the book, and tell them where to get the book as well. We're not done yet, gang, so stay where you are.
So you can contact me at my website, www.speakerauthormotivator.com. And there's a contact me function there. And then the book's name, and I wanted it to be fun, is Muslim Myth Busting.
I love
And it's what 1/4 of the world really believes. And it's a little bit about my journey through life, dealing with two cultures and trying to figure out where I fit in as far as the grand scheme of things.
And they can get the book at?
Oh, and they can get the book on Amazon. Just look for Muslim Myth Busting by Sam Mak, and you can order it and come right to your door.
I'll say a couple things about the book. First of all, I found it easy to read, and I found it extremely interesting because of the personalization, sharing your stories. And at the same time, I remember when I read it, I was so excited to like open my mind and be willing to embrace what are other cultures experiencing. And not only was I looking for the similarities, I was looking for the truth. I was looking for the truth, right? I mean, it fascinates me when I hear anyone make what I'll call a slur, whether it's against someone's race, religion, their size, their height, whatever it is. And I would love this world, particularly in our COVID times, to just become more loving and embrace and be open and find those points of similarities versus those points of differences. And, you know, Entrepreneur, well, you're so familiar with it. You've been with me for forever and you're master certified. It's really about transparency. It is about speaking from the heart and speaking truly and being open to embrace the differences. So if you had the opportunity to speak to whether it's our current president or potentially our next president, what do you want to say to them?
I would tell them to, put their heart on the line and really care about the American people. One of the things, Terry, like you mentioned, COVID is, diversity and inclusion. Every country's got it. Everyone's got it. It doesn't care if you're old or young, the color of your skin or race or religion, right? And so we're all going through this human experience together. And I think loving the people and really caring about the people, let them be heard, is the way that it's going to come out. A lot of the messages that I am seeing from both sides of the political are fear-based messages. Mm-hmm. And so when you add a disease and fear into any human body, regardless of, where the origin or culture are, it's going to be tougher for that body to heal. So I would like to see the messages of hope, all the police officers that are stepping up, all the people that are helping other people that don't look at all like them, all the people that are going out and giving food to the ones that need it, the ones that are creating jobs for people that don't have them, the companies that are pivoting to keep their employees going. We should be filled with stories of human beings rising, and the hope and the blood donations and the caring and the doctors spending hours and hours. Those are what we should be inundated with, because that's what's really going on. And then we have some problems too.
I love how you said that, human beings rising. And this isn't political commentary by either of us standing for a platform. We're just standing for what is important in the world. And that is all of us together, united, rising up. And I think, COVID is interesting because it has caused people to have more reflection due to self-isolation. And at the same time, hopefully to consider that we are all in this together. This is a worldwide problem. This isn't isolated to one culture or one country. This is our problem, and it's our problem to solve as a collective energy in the world. So I really think, while COVID is got its challenges, to say the least, it also, if you look for the gift and you look for the blessing, hopefully is going to create a more loving, more peaceful world where we can embrace each other. And I am really wanting today in this interview to really reach out to every entrepreneur and really have you hear me. I don't say this often, so really hear me. I'm recommending that you get this book, and then I'm recommending you get it today, and I'm recommending you get it now, and I'm going to tell you why. You're like, oh, it's not a book on business growth. You know what? Yes, it is. Listen. every time that you open your heart and you let in differences and you get more enlightened, you actually are more grounded. You actually can come from more transparency, integrity, and authenticity. The more you know, the more you choose to know, and the more that you allow in and embrace the world, its peoples, the more successful you will be. And I truly believe this. And going back to my mother, I mean, I was a young girl, and I'm so grateful that my mother taught me. She taught me that every human being on the planet did not matter what size or color or religious beliefs they have or what language they spoke. Their life and who they are is just as valuable as me in my life. And I think if you're truly a entrepreneur, you're going to want to open your mind and your heart and be interested. So I want you to tell them one more time the name of the book, how they contact you, and where they get the book, so that we can leave them with this important message. And I'm really encouraging you, entrepreneurs, not only read the book. The best thing you can do for an author when you read a book, is being an author myself, is leave a review on Amazon. Let other people know why you think it's a 5-star book and why you recommend it, because people listen to you and your recommendations. Go ahead, Sam.
All right, so it's Muslim myth busting. What 1/4 of the world really believes. You can get it on Amazon. And you know, Terry said leave a review. Well, leave a review with your title and your book as well. I know there's a lot of authors and people with courses in this group, so definitely plug yourself. My name is Sam Mak. You can reach me at www.speakerauthormotivator.com and hit the contact function there. And Terry, you're totally right, because when you can come to a person and you're not at all triggered by their differences or their religion or their culture or their accent, you make a much deeper connection, and it's going to grow any business when there's that mutual understanding, because people will work much harder for you out of love than they will out of fear.
Oh, I love how you said that, out of love versus fear. I love that. So we're curious what you got out of this interview. Feel free to comment. Let us know what you're thinking. Let us know what you heard. And in particular, get the book, and then make sure that you do leave a review. And the last thing I want to say is, oh my gosh, Sam, I just wish I could give you a big hug. This is a virtual hug for now. I do. I love and adore you, not only for who you are, but for how you show up and make a difference in the world. And I just feel very grateful to be connected with you. And I thank you for your time here today. And entrepreneurs, you know what to do next. Go over to Amazon, get the book, and then share the book with others. That's how authors get their books out there, word of mouth. So we're counting on you to share the word of mouth and to make the world a more harmonious and loving place. Thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye for now.